Sin and Punishment, developed by Treasure and released for the Nintendo 64 in 2000, stands out as a unique entry in the genre of rail shooters, with classics like Star Fox 64, Wild Guns, and House of the Dead. The game showcases a unique blend of challenge and continues to influence the genre as of 2024. This retrospective will delve into its development, legacy, and why I just love this obscure Nintendo series so much. In a dystopian 2007, Japan is overrun by mutant creatures known as ruffians, created as a food source due to overpopulation. The Savior Group, led by Achi, emerges to fight both the ruffians and the corrupt Armed Volunteers, a US military organization. Protagonists Saki and Iron must navigate this complex conflict, undergoing transformations into ruffian themselves, and ultimately confront Achi, who seeks to replace Earth with a new world ruled by Saki. And that's really it. The narrative, while not deeply complex, provides a compelling backdrop in the action. At its core, Sin and Punishment is a rail shooter, a genre characterized by players moving along a fixed path while targeting enemies. What sets Sin and Punishment apart from its peers is its dynamic and fast-paced gameplay. The game combines traditional rail shooter elements with innovative features. Players can wield two types of weapons, a rapid-fire gun and a gun blade where enemies get close to you. This duality encourages players to switch between weapons depending on the situation, adding depth to the combat. The game allows players to quickly evade incoming attacks while also allowing them to use their gun blade to deflect enemy projectiles. If they are very skilled, they can deflect those projectiles directly back at them for more damage, further enhancing the strategic aspects of gameplay. Development began in 1997, when Treasure submitted their original proposal to Nintendo. The initial inspiration for Sin and Punishment was the Nintendo 64 controller. Treasure wanted to create a game that utilized the often ignored left position control scheme, where the left hand operates the analog stick and the right hand uses the directional buttons. The development team faced numerous challenges due to the Nintendo 64's 3D capabilities and limitations. For example, getting bullets to hit 3D enemies with a 2D cursor was a major hurdle. Additionally, conveying the scale of large bosses in a 3D environment proved difficult. The team also struggled with the N64's severe texture size limitations, which had impacted performance. Designers had to meticulously plan and optimize their data to maintain smooth gameplay. There was also talk of adding a sensor to the N64 controller. However, by that time, Treasure had already started development for the left position. Integrating a sensor into the controls at such a late stage would have only prolonged the development process that was already lagging. As a result, they decided to abandon the idea. This was revisited when the Wii released in 2006, when the sensor technology was fully realized. The development of Sin and Punishment took longer than usual for the era. Development began in 1997 with only 4 staff and ended in 2000. As development progressed, the team grew larger than any of Treasure's previous projects. Reflecting on the project, Satoru Iwata noted that despite the team's small size, they achieved a significant amount. And it's true, this is one of the Nintendo 64's most visually stunning and fluid action games. Upon its release, Sin and Punishment garnered positive reviews for its innovative gameplay and high production values. Critics lauded its fast-paced action and distinctive mechanics, though some mentioned its challenging difficulty and its short runtime. Despite its limited release, the game developed a devoted following due to its unique features and demanding design, particularly among import gamers and retro enthusiasts. The game's popularity led to its re-release on the Virtual Console for the Wii and Wii U. Saki would also be a guest in Super Smash Bros. Brawl and Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U as an assist trophy. In Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, he received a Mii costume. I discovered Sin and Punishment around 2019-ish. I was browsing the Wii U's eShop N64 section when I found it. I was not familiar with the game, nor did I know anything about it, but the game looked cool and struck me, so I got it. I was immediately hooked. I had never played something like it before. I had played Star Fox 64, but this was surpassing it. The game was kicking my ass, but it was addicting. I wanted to complete it even after losing all my credits and having to start from the beginning. Sin and Punishment became sort of my gateway to realizing a game having less content does not make a game inferior or bad in any way. It only takes 2 hours to beat this game. Despite critiques of this game being too short, I feel that if a game can remain enjoyable for those 2 hours, why should that be considered a sticking point? Something I always appreciate about a lot of older games is how they will get to the point right away with very small exposition. It takes about 15 seconds to get into the gameplay in Sin and Punishment. From the main menu, it throws you right in. I obviously understand this doesn't work for every type of game, but this is something I feel games in general could learn a ton from. Now of course there's nothing wrong with a little exposition, but we can all agree that some games overdo it. I really admire the fact that Sin and Punishment is very straightforward, and that it does not waste your time. Exposition is not a leading factor in the game, but the aftermath. While the character models might seem quite outdated for late N64 standards, and the English voice acting leaves much to be desired,
Look out! Get back!
I honestly wouldn't have the game any other way. In a similar vein, a game I absolutely love that captures the essence of Sin and Punishment in all but name is Kid Icarus Uprising, released for the Nintendo 3DS. Sin and Punishment for the Nintendo 64 remains a standout title in the rail shooter genre, and a testament to Treasure's innovative design philosophy. Its combination of fast-paced action, unique gameplay mechanics, and an engaging narrative has ensured its place in gaming history. As players continue to revisit its challenging gameplay and rich world, Sin and Punishment stands as a shining example of the creativity and excellence that defined the era of the Nintendo 64. I feel that the Sin and Punishment series doesn't get nearly enough attention considering how incredible it is. Even within the realm of cult classics, it deserves to be discussed just as much as F-Zero and Earthbound, for example. As I wrap this retrospective on Sin and Punishment, I hope you've enjoyed this deep dive into its rich and complex world. This game, often overlooked, is a hidden gem that offers a unique blend of challenging gameplay and a somewhat intriguing narrative. Just like uncovering treasure, exploring its depths reveals layers of artistry and innovation that might not have been immediately apparent. If you enjoy shmups or action games, I encourage you to dive into this gem. Emulate it or get it on the Nintendo Switch Online service.